Hi everyone, let's talk about WWE NXT from last night. Yes, guys, it was Veterans Day yesterday for all the people that fighted for our country, for the United States of America. So yes, guys, I wanted to shout that out. So let's talk about the show. So Tatum Paisley makes her entrance, inflates by the cooling as her usual, and Tatum Paisley gets on the mic and says it gives her goosebumps every time she announces as NXT Women's Champion, and she could hear it over and over again. But she knows if she wants to keep hearing it, she has to listen to her friends. Last week, it didn't really go how she planned it to, and she's just got carried away, and poor Easy Dame tried to protect her, and Tatum Paisley pulled herself out of the meltdown and thanks Easy Dame for protecting her because that's what best friends do. And Easy Dame says the all the cooling wants is what's best for Tatum Paisley, and she worked so hard for so long to be a champion. But if she wants to keep being their silly, dancing, goofy, wonderful champion, she needs to promise to stop handling out opportunities so easy. And Tatum Paisley admits she can be opposing and thanks the cooling for reminding her, but spinning the wheel was really cool and stuff. And Easy Dame says the fans would be interesting by a fruit fly and asks Tatum Paisley if she wants to be a champion for them or for herself. And the last time she fought for them, she got left abandoned and alone. Then the cooling took her in, and now she's perfect. And Tatum Paisley says she's right, but asks why couldn't she be a champion who does both? And Easy Dame is expressive and says the more you defend the title, the more you risk losing it. And she's treating it like a presents trophy, but not everybody deserves a shot, and not what's best for Tatum Paisley or for the title. And then enters the final influence comes out. So yes, the final influence comes out and talks their stuff and stuff. Let's talk about it, guys. So Easy Dame, oh, so again, sorry, JC Dame, sorry, I'll repeat it again. Entering final influence. So yes, they come out, guys. They come, and JC Jane says nobody understands what Tatum Paisley is going through more than she does, and she needs to decide now what kind of champion she's going to be. And she tells the fans to shut up before continuing and saying Tatum Paisley worked so hard for so long to get here that now she wants to prove to everybody that she's beating her at Halloween Havoc wasn't a fluke, right? And that the best way to do that is to be a fighting champion, right? But she should be giving opportunities to people that earn it, who carried this division on their back all year, who earned it. And Easy said, too bad Tatum Paisley's not falling for it. And right, Tatum Paisley is silenced, and Easy Dame says JC Jane carried no weight, and Tatum Paisley has nothing to prove by beating her. And JC Jane says Easy Dame doesn't know what holding a title means, and Tatum Paisley needs to take charge of how she remembers as champion. And the right thing to do is to give the former champion her rematch. And Tatum Paisley says she has to be more selective, and she absolutely is going to do that right after New York. And she gives JC Jane her rematch for Golden Rush in New York, but say it's the last time for real. Then enters the For instance projects are backstage with Ever Rain, and Jackson Drake thanks Ever Rain for the opportunity to defend his involved man's championship. And Ever Rain says Gents will love the chance to beat him. Then then Eden Page rolls in to tell Drake not to work about her and asks Everrain if she's celebrating his partner on becoming a double champ just like him. And Everrain says they have a mixed tag match next week and books a match for Chelsea Green for tonight. And Chelsea Green objects, but Eden Page says this is great because Everfire can take her opponent out and make next week easier, and she sees Jasper Troy and Los Americanos separating backstage to send us to the break. And then back from the break, we get a clip of John Cena talking about how he almost joined the army before he started wrestling. Then we had Grante Americano fences Jasmine Troy for the WWE Spin Championship. And this is what happened. And Jasmine Troy became the new WWE Speed Champion. Let's talk about it, guys. So, yes. Troy in control early, and Grante Americano mounted a comeback as he gets into the second minute. And twist lock since ankle lock, and Jasper pulls him in for a short arm lariat and stomping away to the floor. And Troy catches a dive and grabs his chain and causing Reno and Bravo to run in interference and get ejected. And coming into the final minute, El Grande Americano dives on Troy and back inside and clocks counting down. And Grande Americano wasting time purposely with the plate in his mask. And Jasmine Troy gets the better of him, and Jasmine Troy wins with a black hole slam and becomes the new WWE Speedman champion. Then Thea Hill is backstage looking for Joe Henry, of course, and he also again. Thea Hill is backstage looking for Joe Henry, and of course, she says his name and he appears and she thanks him for last week and thanks her and pulls her over for the energy she had popping out of the cake, and he couldn't ask for a better tag team partner. And Thea Hill says she's been waiting for a big moment like this, and next week they're going to become AAA mixed tag team champions. And tonight she's going to take it to Chelsea Green and Everfire because she believes in Thea Hill. And then I believe, and then to the break, and then back from the break, I'll say again, Sean Legacy is chatting with Everrain when Soruka and Saria roll up, and Soruka says she's cleared, and Everrain says she's cleared as rated, which means she should wait, but she knows she's not going to. And Soruka says it's her choice, and she's fighting Blake Monroe next week. And Everrain says that's fine as long as she understands the risk. Then we had Everfire versus Thea Hill, which was good, guys, and Thea Hill won this match. Let's talk about it. Thea Hill hot out of the gate, but Everfire slowed the pace down and hard whipped to the corner, and Thea Hill comes back with a schoolboy for two and a snap bar, ducks a kick and a schoolboy from Everfire for two, and then trying an armbar, and Fire blocks and slap her hard across the face, and a luchador press into a mount punch from Thea Hill, then an arm dragger rinses it, and then an arm bar shot off an arm drag from Thea Hill, then a La Cazadora arm drag and a drop kick, and Everfire falls to the floor, and a springboard trust fall suicide throwing Everfire back in, and Chelsea Green jaws with Thea Hill and punches block Everfire and dives on Thea Hill to take her out and send us to the break. And then back from the break, Everfire lands an elbow in and trading headbutts, and Thea Hill with a sense lariat and a world's strongest slam and rolls through and a fire up no body home and a springboard suicide and a crucifix pin for two. But Thea Hill grabs the double twist lock on the kick out, and Everfire rams her into the corner and breaks it in a tornado DDT nope. And then Thea Hill lands a driver and deep near fall and a body scissors with a double twist lock. And Eden Page runs interference and she breaks the hold to yell at him. And Joe Henry pulls Eden Page to the floor and snips, zooms, spin, smile, and Chelsea Green tries to attack him, but he ducks and she elbows Edom and back inside and a super kick from Everfire for two up for the KLR bomb counter. And then Thea Hill wins pinfall with a sunset flip, and that's how she won. Then Tatum Paisley is chatting with Ricky Saints in the trainer room, and Ricky Saints says she needs to be the champion she wants to be, and he believes she's going to take it to JCJ next week. And the cooling rolled up to take Tatum Paisley home over her ejection, and she has something to say to Ricky. And we go to the break, and then back from the break, Blake Monroe interviews herself and goes blind. And then in business, Blake takes shots at Glabrier Blake and says Soruka is more of a competent athlete, and she's going to have to break her and target the injury to get it done, and agree they need to each other to get it done. And then Devon Evans is walking backstage and talking to Leon Slater on the phone about his spot and the last time is now tournament, and he got a special announcement to make. And then we go to the break, and then back from the break, Jordan Grace is interviewed backstage, and she says before she was an NXT superstar, she was the NXT knockout. And while Kalani Jordan was just flipping around in college, she was knockouts champion 3 times in 2 weeks, and she had the opportunity to course direct in her entire division. And since Xia Li will be just since damage, and at Gold Rush, Jordan will just be able to blame her. And then Devon Evans is in the ring on the mic, and he is excited about being in the last time is now tournament, but he can't lie, he's pretty nervous, and not only because he's going to get Gunther in the first round, which is crazy, but because he's wrestled in MGSG, um, Madison Square Garden at the age of 21, gang, and Mortimer, sorry, Madison Square Garden has been around longer. He's been alive, and that's next Monday. Let's talk about next Tuesday. He and Leon Slater have a pretty big announcement, and since Leon can't be here, but he's got something figured out, and he asked Miss Amy in the truck to get his pal up on the screen, and Leon Slater appears on the Titron, and Devon Evans says he hasn't stopped since that they've been talking to their GM, and that they finally have what they want, a tag title shot against since Dark State. And Leon says after what they did to the Hardys, they got to get back the only way they know, jacking their butts. And Evan says anybody knows it, that then they're in the same ring and they make magic, and next week they're going to do it well. They take the tag titles. And then the lights go down and Dark State's logo appears, and then Dark State appears in the crowd to address their 2 victims. Since Linson Lex says their future is in their hands and they're going to end the future next week, and Duquan says Leon fixing to do Gold Rush all by himself, and they surround Devon Evans, but Leon Slater is a rinse here, but still outnumbered, and the young baby faces managed to get the better of Darkseid and sent them packaging, and Kalani Jordan rolls up on Trick Williams backstage, and she says she has to admit he's right. He's alone being a champion, but you gotta worry about yourself. And she doesn't care. She didn't care what anyone says. She's picking Trick tonight, and Trick Williams says she got it. I'll say it again. Trick Williams says she gets it. She gets it, and sometimes you got to be selfish. And he's going to take care of Ricky Saints tonight, just like she's going to take care of the triple threat next week. And then we go to the break, and then back from the break, we get another John Cena documentary clip. This one about his debut against Kurt Angle and stuff. And then we had another spin championship match. Fallon Haley fences Skylar Ray. She's a newcomer. Skylar Ray, a newcomer, guys. Let's talk about it. So Skylar Ray starts hot, arm drag since folding press, and Fallon Haley with a body scissor pin, and Skylar comes back with a crucifix for 2 and a big elbow drop. Ray and a shot off spins out an arm drag and trading pins, and Fallon Haley with a super kick and a power bomb counter to a Frankensteiner and a hip check from Skylar Ray, and then back elbow up to the corner and diving crossbody for 2. Then less than 90 seconds left, and a DDT goes kind of sideways by Skylar Ray, and then makes the cover for 2 anyways. And then a La Cruzadora counters into a hot shot, spin out ace crusher of short, and then Fallon Haley wins with the fame and that's how she won. And then Jasmine Jasper Troy cuts a promo outside about how he's shutting folks down and everybody in NXT is going to feel the heat. Then Dark State comes out of the building yelling about how they're going to take Devon Evans and Leon Slater out next week. And then back from the break, Final Influence are walking backstage talking up final I'll say it again. Back from the commercial, Final Influence are walking backstage talking up final fallen Haley's this success, concede. And then Listen Reed says with both of them having titles coming, she knows exactly what she needs to do and walks off. Then we have Josh Brooks fences Devon Heights match, and Josh Brooks puts boots to him out of the gate, and Devon Heights floats over a slam and a twist lock, back elbow, and breaks the hold, and then a fireman carry takes over in a hip toss, a twist lock takedown, and then Josh Brooks cuts the comeback off in the ropes, and it sends fans, and then Heights with a double leg off the rope and rolling fireman carry, and a knee gives out. Also, again, knee gives out, but he gets onto his feet. And then Josh slips out of the ropes and ducks a lariat and flying lariat from Josh Brooks and screaming at Devon Heights. And we go to the break. And then back from the break, Devon Heights punching away and a sense lariat. And Josh Brooks chunk blocks him and hammering him with a mount punch. Lateral press for two. And then whips across and a big boot from Josh Brooks and Devon Heights hooks him, and Devon Heights wins with a belly-to-belly suplex. And then Everrain begs Miles Bourne to not to interfere in tonight's main event, but he's probably going to interfere in the main event and all of that. And then Winston Sinclair and Kendall Gray put their minds together when Rance Reed rolls up and slaps the hell of Gray, and the brawl and the ref storm to put them apart. And then the commentary hypes up for the next week's show. And then Trick Williams makes his entrance to send us to the break. And then we had Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints in a last man standing match. This was a banger. This was a banger. This was a banger. Let's talk about it, guys. So Ricky Saints wheeling on Trick Williams with a candlestick and sending him to the floor and slintons his tripped up ribs as he falls out after him and goes under the ring for plunger, and Trick cuts him off and smashing a chair out of his hand with another chair, and then whips reverse and he goes hard into the steel steps. And then back inside, Ricky Saints springboards in, but Trick Williams blasts him with a trash can to the injury rib, and then wallowing him with the can a few more times, and then whip across, flipjack into the can, and then chomps in the ropes and sending Ricky running champion managed to challenger crushing into the floor. And we go to the break, and then back from the break, Trick Williams hits a cyclone kill onto the floor and charging in, and then Saint sidesteps and Trick goes through the barricade and then back in the ring. Ricky wells on him with a candlestick and then hitting him over and over. Then Trick Williams begs for mercy and Ricky Saints breaks the stick over his knee, and then Trick Williams lands a kick and Ricky Saints cuts him off and nails on him with a chair shot, and after chair shot after chair shot after chair shot. Then the ref countering a bleeding Trick bears beat to the count and knocks Saint to the floor and following out after him and bookend into the steel steps and putting the cutout of the stairs over Ricky Saints' head and standing on top of them. But Ricky Saints flips out and gets up top and shoves Trick Williams to the floor, and Ricky Saints charges in and Trick sidesteps him through the wall. And then Ricky Saints comes back out and fighting Matt, and Trick Williams takes him up the stairs into the crowd, and then Trick shots on a chair and no count, and then Ricky Saints spears him out of the stands into the floor, and they get to the floor and almost are since, but Ricky Saints shoves Trick Williams down, and that's what happened, and that's how Ricky Saints defeated Trick Williams. That was insane. That was insane. That moment right there to the floor into the concrete. That spear, that was amazing. That was amazing. And that's how Ricky Saints retained the NXT championship. And then the post match and the arena goes green, and then Obafemi is back, and that's what happened. And I give this show a 9 out of 10 as well, guys. Oh, this show was great, man. I'm telling you, I'm telling you guys, this show was so good, man. I loved it, man. I really did. Last night's show was good. But that's all I have to say, guys. So, yes, like I said again, that was a 9 out of 10 for me. This is CJD. I'll say again, this is CJD 2006, Christopher Jackson, Denver, 2006. Don't forget to like the don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit those notification bells as always, and subscribe. And peace out and take care, guys. Peace out and take care.